Hey guys, welcome back to the Venture Mentality Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob O'Connor. Today joining us is Matthew Lepre, who runs two multiple six-figure businesses. What's up, Matthew?
Sup, Jacob? How are you, man? Great to be on the show.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you on, Matthew. So to start things off, can you tell us about your story?
Yeah, well, okay. So my story started about in the online business space. It started about 5 to 6 years ago. I was like most people out there that most people are in this situation where their parents really want them to go to university, get a good job, and go work for the rest of your life at a secure job. So yeah, year 7 to 10, went to school in Sydney, Australia, and my mum had always told me, study hard, get a good job, either become a doctor or a dentist. So they were the sort of options. And once you've been told that from a young age, like 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, it sort of became ingrained to me. And that's all I was thinking about. That's what I want to do. I want to make a lot of money and I'm going to have the best life. And throughout those years, I used to always search in Google, like, oh, what's the best paying job? And it used to say like dentist. And that's what really got me motivated to become a dentist. And then, so studied hard year 7 to 10, year 11 and 12. In Australia, we call that the higher school certificate. So HSC, went hard there. Always had this vision, I want to become the dentist, and it wasn't really because I was passionate about it. It was more because I knew that would make my mum proud. No one else in the family went to university. So if I was going to be the only person out of my brother, my sister, my cousins that went to university, then I feel like that was something that I wanted to do, just to make my family proud. So it came to the time where I had to start university. I studied a 4-year degree, a Bachelor of Medical Science. So for you guys out there, I'm actually got a science background. It's pretty crazy. So I studied 4 years of that. And then I had to pass this other exam to get accepted into dentistry. And basically, I got accepted and I was about to become a dentist. At that time at university, I was working like a beast, like 3 jobs, Jake. It was pretty crazy. I was working like pretty hard just to help my mum out. My mum was a single mother, just to help her out, help her pay the bills, and obviously so I can still pursue my career. But what actually happened after I finished my degree and before I started dentistry, there was a point in my life where I really started to think a lot. I was reading a lot of different books, and I came across the book 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of it. So basically, it's about a guy named Tim Ferriss, and he was actually traveling the world and living in Argentina, and he was making about 10K, 20K a week or something. And that's when it was just a big light bulb moment for me. And I was like, if this guy's making that much money being an entrepreneur traveling around the world with an online business, then why am I going to become a dentist? And at that time, that was about 6 years ago, and that's when I really started to think about everything. If I was to become a dentist, step one, the first thing is I wouldn't even enjoy what I was doing. So that was a big thing that came to me. I didn't want to be in people's mouths every day and like doing fillings, cavities, because I wasn't passionate about that. The money was okay, $100,000 to $150,000 a year. That was okay, but again, I realized that the lifestyle is the most important. If I can do an online business and live that lifestyle because I always wanted to travel, then I'd rather give that a shot than do dentistry. Dentistry, again, it was going to cost me $250,000 HECS debt. So that's how much you have to pay the government. And yeah, just a lot of things didn't really make sense there. I couldn't tell my mum at the start. I brought up the idea to her that I didn't want to become a dentist, and she was like so pissed off. So I just sort of told her that I didn't get accepted, and I had another whole 6 months to really go hard with this online business thing. So what I ended up doing was I started to sell ebooks online. So quit my jobs. I declined my acceptance letter into university, and yeah, started to sell these ebooks online. How I got started was simply just typed in Google how to make money online. Came across a few different people that were teaching how to write ebooks. Pat Flynn was someone that I came across, and I've seen that you had an interview with him as well. So good work on that. And yeah, he basically was writing ebooks, and on the top of his website, he used to say that he made $130,000 a year. He used to show how much money he was making. And then when I seen that, I'm like, wow, this is the industry that I have to be in. So started to sell ebooks, was making a few $100s here and there. And after about 6 months, where my website was launching, I was making decent sales, but I couldn't really scale it to where I could see myself in a better situation than being a dentist. And that was about 6 months later. And at that time, I sort of started to think like, should I have done this? I was really getting depressed because I thought there was a chance that I had made the wrong decision. You know, imagine I told my mom the truth and it's like I wasted so much time and didn't become a dentist. But at that time, Jacob, I hit up an online business event. I hit up a local business event in Sydney, and then I signed up to an American guy's coaching program. He was able to teach me Facebook ads and all these different other strategies, SEO, Google ads, and all these other strategies to actually grow an online e-commerce business. So after implementing all that, that started taking off. And yeah, it's at a stage I was making like $2,000 a week, and I was like, perfect, this is more than a dentist. And then, yeah, if we just fast forward from there, that was about 5-6 years ago to now. I've launched a lot of different e-commerce businesses selling drop shipping products, other products out there. Obviously, this ebook business is still going well. It's doing about $60,000 a month, most of it being profit. And yeah, since then, Jacob, we've also launched Ecom Warrior Academy. So we actually help people start an e-commerce business. It tends to be for people that know nothing about business. We help them get launched with an e-commerce business from scratch. And yeah, basically teach Facebook ads, how to find a product, and yeah, everything from there, man.
That's awesome, and definitely a lot there. But I want to start off by asking you, what does it mean to you to live life on your own terms?
Yeah, live life on my own terms means I wake up and yeah, whatever I want to do, I can actually do. So I'm not forced to do anything. For example, today it's 6 a.m. here in the Gold Coast. And yeah, the sun's just rising and I'm going to go for a fish. I'm going to go fishing in a few hours. And yeah, so that's what it is. Doing what you love when you want, really, and not being set to anyone else's standards. If I want to take a holiday for 3 months, I'll go take a holiday. And that's what online business has been able to do for me.
What advice would you offer to someone who isn't living life on their own terms, but they want to?
Yeah, well, if you're not living life on your own terms, you got to think, you got to reflect on yourself and think, why? Is it because you're putting different restrictions on yourself, or is it because society or your family is putting different restrictions on yourself? But the ultimate thing comes down to really take a step back and figure out what it is you really want in life. So write your goals down. If you want to be the best Formula One driver in the world in a few months or in a few years' time, for example, write that down, read that every day, because that's going to really build the subconscious into your mind. So yeah, if you're not living the life you want to live, there's no excuse to stay there. You can change that easily with setting the right habits and putting the right work in. And ultimately, whatever you want to be in life, whoever you want to aspire to be like, study them, research them, model them. That's been the key to my success. I get a lot of mentors, so I'm spending over $100,000 a year on just mentors now, and I've had them for years. You get mentors that have been where you want to be, and then you can ask them a lot of questions. They can teach you things, so you don't have to do the long way. It's like a shortcut, basically.
Who were some of the people that you were studying or looking up to as role models whenever you first got started?
Who was I looking up to?
Yeah, who were some of the people that you were modeling your success, your business after whenever you first got started?
So the first mentor that I had, his name was Armand Morin, one of the old school guys from the US that first got into marketing. So he taught me all the basics and everything. But yeah, so usually him. And then for e-commerce, it wasn't more looking at the people, it was more looking at the successful businesses out there. So if I want to build a successful clothing store, for example, an e-commerce store, I'll do the research. I'll find out what stores are making the most money, what stores have the best Instagrams, what stores have the best social media. I would go study all the ads that they're running. I would study everything about the business and then just compile everything from all the best businesses out there into my one, what I like about all of them, and see how I can make it better. Buy all the products, see how you can make it better. So you don't always have to study a person. I don't think I had too many idols out there. It was more like I was studying successful businesses and things like that.
I gotcha. I gotcha. And, you know, as you were telling your story, you hit on this very briefly. You had this moment of doubt whenever you were starting your business. You just turned down the university and you had this doubt, like, did I make the right choice? So what was it in that moment that kept you going?
Yeah, wow, that doubt's scary. I had it badly. I'm sure everyone gets it. Um, what kept me going was the thought, okay, there was two options. One, I could go become a dentist and I could just do that and that's a guaranteed income. Or I could just give it all everything I have and just hustle every single day. Like I was working on this like all day, every day. So there's the two options. It's like, I didn't want to think what if, I thought, let's give it a shot, see how I go. If worse comes to worse, I'll basically learn a lot along the way anyway. So I think you got to realize that everyone fails anyway. So I didn't really care what was going to happen. I'm like, okay, I'm going to work 8 hours a day, my hardest. I'm going to keep putting the work in. I'm going to study what's already successful, apply that to what I'm doing. And what I realized is success wasn't just a fluke. It's not a lucky thing. All these other businesses were successful because the people running them had the right skills. They had the right networks. So it's not a fluke. If I build my skills up to this level, if I build my networks up and find the right people to run my businesses, then I too can have a successful business that's going to give me this amount of money.
What advice would you offer for finding the right people and growing your network? Because, as you hit on, that's been a super important part with me growing this podcast, or a lot of people I've interviewed that's been important for them growing their own business.
Yeah. So what was the question? Like, what advice would you give someone?
Yeah. So in terms of networking and finding the right people to help you, how do you go about that?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. If we look at this question in terms of starting your own e-commerce business, because that's what I really focus on. Firstly, the hardest thing is once you're by yourself. You're starting yourself. You've got yourself as the only person running the business. So let's just say you start a store, you're making sales. You're on Facebook ads. So you're doing the Facebook ads yourself. You're replying to emails yourself. You're posting on Instagram yourself. You're posting on Facebook. You're doing all the business registration. You're doing the accounting. So you have to do all these things to start with. And I think the hardest part is once you start making your first $1,000, $2,000 a week, then how do you grow from there? The key to doing that is to actually obviously hire, because if you're focusing on customer service all the time, you're not going to be able to grow the business. So you want to start hiring the right people first. To start with, you want to hire low cost Filipino assistants that will do the customer service for you. So pay them $2, $3 an hour. But as soon as you've got the customer service outsourced, then you just want to be saving as much money as possible, reinvesting it back into the business. And then once you grow a decent buffer, that's when you can start making some moves to actually grow the business. So once you've got that buffer, my best advice is search LinkedIn, search Instagram, but you want to be finding the people that are the best at Facebook ads. You want to be finding the people that are best at Snapchat ads. You want to find the people that are the best at SEO, the people that are the best at website optimization. So if you find the best people and you just hire them to run different aspects of your business, then you're going to be able to scale greatly. So it's all about the talent. So if you hire an average person to run your ads, you're going to get average results. So what I do is try to find the best people, put them into aspects of my business, and then that will scale. And to do that, all you have to do is LinkedIn, Facebook groups. You can reach out on Instagram. and just look at their resume, see what they've done before. And this is something that's really important when you are hiring people or someone to run your ads, or if you are networking. Make sure you research people properly. I got ripped off by like $1,500 from this mentor when I first started that didn't know what it was doing. So it's important that when you do network with people, when you do actually hire someone, do the proper research and get them to show you results. That's my advice.
I gotcha. So you've scaled your business now, obviously. Where are you looking to take it, or what are you looking to expand to in the future?
Yeah, let me just change positions. This sun in Queensland just keeps changing. How's that? Is that all right
Good.
still?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, with regards to my businesses, so I've got a lot of systems in place. I've got a team of over 30 at the moment, including contractors and everything. I don't really focus a lot on the drop shipping and launching new things like that. That's all like sort of systemized. The main focus is obviously our Ecom Warrior Academy. So helping people that are complete beginners start an e-commerce business. The good thing about drop shipping is you don't have to actually buy bulk products to start with. So we set up a store. When a customer buys the product, we just ship it from the supplier to the customer and make our profit. So we don't have to spend all that money first. So that's why we teach that. My whole focus now is on growing this and helping people obviously get a foot in the door into entrepreneurship, make sure they've got the right support and guidance. Because I think the hardest thing out there is making that first step into entrepreneurship and knowing what to do. So that's our whole focus, just growing that and just, having the most successful students out of any program out there. It's pretty crazy, actually. I met this guy at a cafe probably about 6 months to a year ago. He actually served me at the cafe, and then we had a chat. I think he asked me what I do for work, I think because he's seen that I ordered so much food and just didn't care about the price. So he asked me what I do for work. We spoke about e-commerce, and he actually joined the program, and he sent me a photo like 2 days ago. In 13 days, he made $200,000 US, and he should be doing 400,000 US this month. So it's incredible what we've been able to do with this whole program. And I love it. It's just, I wake up every day and it doesn't even feel like I have a job.
That's really remarkable. That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
So Matthew, where can people find you online if they want to learn more about you?
Yeah, so to find me online, mainly Instagram is where I use where I spend most of my time. So just at Matthew Lepre, or you can either go to our website, which is ecomwarrioracademy.com, if you want to learn a bit more about drop shipping and how you can get started. And again, YouTube, there's definitely some content on YouTube that can definitely help you out, and that's all free.
Awesome. So Matthew, before we go, I have one last question, but first a little bit of background for you. So when you die, the only thing that matters is the difference that you made or the impact that you had. So with that being said, what difference or what impact are you looking to make?
Yeah, wow. I love this question, man. I'll definitely say the education system in the world needs to be changed. So the impact that I want to make is change the whole education system. And they need to be teaching about emotions, mindset, that your thoughts create your beliefs and your beliefs create your reality. They need to teach all those things. Nutrition, they need to teach nutrition properly, about what to eat and all those things at school. The food pyramid they teach isn't even true. Like, it's not even correct. Like, they teach to eat breads and all that. So yeah, just really teaching people about your emotions, mindset, and health habits throughout school. I think a lot of the things they teach at school is pretty useless, if you ask me. And obviously teaching about entrepreneurship and how to get started with business. So I want to create my own schools where we teach mindset, health, and entrepreneurship all in one.